Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Season 2, Episode 11 of Fire Force. So we just finished the last arc, which was the I'll get there, Chinese Peninsula arc. And now we're going into what's next, so I'm excited to find out what that is. But also, to those in America who celebrate it, I guess happy 4th of July. I don't really celebrate it as a holiday because, let's be honest, there's not really much to celebrate there. Um, but for those who might, I'll say it here. Um, it's just an excuse for me to, you know, for my family to have a barbecue and stuff. Like, that's the only thing I look forward to with it. Um, the fireworks can just go away. I hate that so much. There's so many issues with that, but I'm not going to get into that here. And of course, the stupid blind patriotism that's just completely unfounded. But again, not going to get into that here. But if you celebrate it, all the power to you. Happy Independence Day, I guess. So, all of that being said, I don't really have anything else to go on here. Like, the Chinese Peninsula arc was, like, really entertaining and interesting. Definitely set up a lot for the future. But, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know exactly where this is going, so. Uh, so I guess let's just get on with it. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I still like that Joker's voice actor is Sonny Strait. Because it's like, when you think about that, that's just really fucking funny. Because Sonny Strait is known as the voice of Krillin from Dragon Ball Z, as well as Usopp from One Piece. So it's like, knowing that he does the deep, gruff voice of Joker in this is really fucking funny. It's just not what you would expect of all actors to be doing this. Like, obviously, with Licht, you can hear Ian. Name is escaping me. Ian Sinclair. Obviously, you can hear Ian Sinclair in his voice, but it's like you really can't hear it. And I mean, I guess that means kudos to Sonny Strait, of course. But wow. Anyway, so yeah, obviously Beni's not dead. Like, very obviously. Beni is too big of a character to die like that. Maybe injured, maybe unconscious, but not dead. So it looks like, at least from this point, that this arc might be centered a little bit more around Joker and Beni. Because at least as we see in this episode, they're infiltrating the Holy Soul Temple. While the Company 8 can't really do much at the moment. They're kind of restricted to having to wait because of their official capacity and everything. They can't really do anything. And Victor, we see interact with Joker a little bit, and we learn more about his motivation behind all of this. While Joker is trying to be, as he calls it, a dark hero, fighting for his own brand of justice and whatnot, Victor's more focused on the objective truth. He wants to find out, like, just the truth of everything. And that's all he really cares about. He doesn't care about the moral side of it. He doesn't care about the what's right or wrong, because all of that's vague and subjective. He wants to find out the objective truth of everything. And you know what? I can't even like fault him for that. It's like fair enough. While Joker is also interested in the truth, but again through more of the lens uh, of justice. While Victor is more just trying to figure everything out, just trying to learn, just trying to research, Joker is more of the active side of things, like going forth and just doing whatever is necessary in order to bring justice to the world. He's not really concerned with anything in terms of morality or ethics or whatnot. He's like, I'll kill people if I have to. I don't give a shit. He'd probably kill innocents too, which that would be a little bit more of an issue for Beni. But Beni, as we see here, also very much does not trust the Holy Soul Temple. He does not trust Amaterasu. He is very much against all of this. He's kind of his own thing. We see that the Holy Soul Temple also seems to have it out against Beni. We see that they consider him like a dark god of his own, like this false deity in a way. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes along. Because if this arc is centered around these two and their infiltration into the Holy Soul Temple to find these real scriptures and everything, that's going to lead to a really interesting dynamic comparative to most of the series. So I'm definitely interested to see that. But yeah, the fact that officially Company 8 is being told, oh, you have to wait 3 years and then we'll release the info. It's like, no, they won't. They're just banking on you forgetting because 3 years is a long time. They're banking on you just like, oh, they'll wait 3 years and by the time that comes along, they'll have moved on. They won't even remember. It's like they're literally trying to sweep it under the rug. They're trying to sweep it under the rug and hope that it's forgotten about so that they don't have to live up to their promises and that it never gets revealed. It's a very sneaky tactic that a lot of companies, religions, so on and so forth will do in order to basically either shift or just completely ignore the blame. Like they don't want to take the blame for it, so they're just going to either shift it away to something else or just completely ignore it and hope that it goes away. Like I said, a lot of companies and religions and whatnot do this kind of thing all the time. So it's very common, and so not a surprise at all to see utilized here. And I like how we see that Iris is really concerned with all of this being revealed, especially in regards to the religion more than likely being a complete sham. Because again, like Tamaki's a nun as well, but not to the same degree and not for as long, I believe. Iris was raised into this. Like basically, just her entire life was dedicated to the Holy Soul Temple. So to find out that all of this is more than likely a lie, basically says that her entire life was a lie, or at the very least, dedicated to it. And that's going to be a horrifying thing to find out. That you've dedicated your entire life to something that was false. It's like that's going to shake your entire worldview. And a lot of people go through this in real life. Especially with religion. And I'm saying this as a Christian. But a lot of times religion, either due to false teachings or due to, just being terrible, pushes people away. And when they find out this stuff, it breaks them. Because, again, they were raised into this. It's all they ever knew. Their entire lives were dedicated. So leaving that religion and all is a lot of times hard for them, even if they're truly confident in doing so. The action is still hard for them because again, it's all they've ever known. I've heard of a lot of stories of people who have left religion, specifically Christianity, and had a hard time dealing with that at first. And a lot of them will say in the end their lives are better now, but when they first did it, it's like, yeah, it was hard to let go because, again, it's all they ever knew. So even just acknowledging that they were wrong for their entire lives, it's like that's not an easy thing. And I can kind of speak on experience to that because I've been burned by the church. Again, I'm a Christian. I do believe in God. But I'm not by any means an evangelical. I am not by any means a super, like, heavy, how would you put it? I'm a Christian, but I'm not religious. Let's put it like that. I believe in God. I believe in a lot of this stuff, but I'm not super religious about it to where it's like, I'm not invested in the entire kind of superiority mindset. I'm not into a lot of the bigotries that the church spews. Any of the bigotries, really. And I'm not like grossly loyal to the church either. In fact, I speak out against the church pretty commonly, or constantly. Commonly, what? Pretty constantly. I've spoken out about how the church is absolutely terrible on a wide scale and has done some really fucked up shit. How a lot of their beliefs are steeped in lies that aren't even in the original scriptures and were added in through rewrites and, like, purposeful lying. Stuff like that. And I speak out against a lot of evangelicals constantly, and especially some of the bullshit they spew, like the entire thoughts and prayers thing whenever a tragedy happens. It's like, you're not fucking doing anything with that, which also goes against biblical teachings. Words without acts are dead. It's like, if you're just saying, like, oh, thoughts and prayers, but not actually doing anything to fix the problems, you're literally doing nothing, and your thoughts and prayers mean absolutely but fuck nothing. So it's like, I understand what it's like to have to deal with fighting against it. And there's been times where I've very strongly considered just dropping it all together and just leaving religion behind. Especially after I came out. When I came out as trans and the way I was treated at my old church, like, I was pretty much, like, at that line where it's like one more thing would have sent me over the edge and I would have just completely dropped it altogether. Luckily, I found a church where they are accepting and, you know, kind and good people. And so now I'm a regular of that church, a member of that church, and, you know, they're actually good. And they fight for the rights of LGBT people, of people of color, and everything. They stand by these different various issues that arise within the country and all. It's a great church. It really is. Also, there's like a gay bar next door, and they like had consistent events there and stuff, so that's fun as well. But yeah, I really enjoy going to that church, and luckily, it helped me a lot after coming out. It helped me, like, just really accept myself in a lot of ways after coming out. So yeah. But all of this is to say that I understand what that struggle that Iris would be going through is like. Just the doubt that has to be going through her mind regarding something that she's been a part of all her life. Something that she's dedicated everything she is to. It's like, yeah, that's going to be a lot. But hopefully she'll be able to get through it thanks to her friends and her squad and everything. They'll help her for sure. But this is starting out pretty interesting. So, like I said, though, we will get through this arc, and then we're going to be taking one more break for the season. We'll get to something else in the meantime, and then once we're done with that, we'll probably come straight back to this. But that's the plan. So within hopefully the next few weeks, but probably not, knowing how we end up getting these episodes out. We'll hopefully finish it up and bring in something else. It'll definitely still be a donor reward. It'll still be a donation reward series. We're keeping this slot for that for now. So nothing's going to change in that regard. But yeah. We'll see exactly what it ends up being and how it ends up going. But in the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Fire Force Season 2? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.